Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing Find Your Way Through the Fog. And you've got there Sleuth walking through what I guess would be eventually a labyrinth in the kind of almost like the back, or it could be the front of a castle that you can see there in the background. So you'd have to basically work your way through this maze before you can actually get to the front door, and that's how you sort of need to find your way. Very light fog though, as you can see, which I hope is helpful because after yesterday's kind of recording or yesterday's video, well, I immediately went and got myself a cup of coffee, gave myself, no real opportunity for it to act. But I'm hoping that I'm now awake enough to just attempt the next one after butchering the last puzzle. If you don't know what I'm referencing, that's maybe not a bad thing, but I'll kind of put a quick card up here to sort of link through that very awkward soul from me, which you can enjoy at some point. So let's take a look at today's puzzle. What do we have in store for us? We have Find Your Way Through the Fog by EFlatMinor and the following set of rules. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means place the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. This cell is not. This is a 3x3 box. Now, neighboring digits along a green whisper line must differ by at least 5. And you can see, fortunately through this fog, we don't actually have to try and imagine or draw things. We've got almost like it's definitely the complete green line. That's the start, that's the end. Now, imagine that this digit was a 2, then this cell here would have to be 5 or more away from the 2. So I could do 7, I could do 8, I could do 9, and the same would be true for this particular cell here as well. As long as you are 5 or more away, that's going to be fine. Now, I couldn't do, for example, a 4 because that would require both of these to be a 9, because 9 is the only digit that's 5 or more away. What I want to say just before I move on from German whispers is you can see then you end up with this pattern where there is digits that are high, 6, 7, 8, or 9, oscillating to a low digit, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then high digit, 6, 7, 8, or 9. No prizes for figuring out why a 5 on a German whispers line does not work. You're really going to struggle to fill in these two digits. We also have Renban line, and again, this is actually revealed in the fog today. We've got the whole Renban line visible today to us. So purple Renban lines consists of a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. So for example, a valid fill of this Renban line would be a 1, 2, 3, as long as they are on aggregate consecutive and not repeated, you're good to go. However, if I went with 1, 2, and 4, that doesn't work because the 4 is not consecutive with either of these two digits. If that one was removed, I can definitely put a 3 in here and that will be fine. And notice it doesn't need to be in any order. So, because it's a 3-cell one, it's always going to look a little bit difficult. But I could go with 2, 3, and 4, for example, and that would be still fine. The 2 and the 4 clearly are not consecutive. On aggregate, the line is. Lines do not branch, which I think, given the fact that we have a fog here covering what we're meant to be able to see, it kind of tells us that this German whispers line is essentially directly in here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 cells. Had it gone anywhere else, that would be branching. So we know that this is the full German whispers line, and as more of the grid is revealed, I'm sure that would be a useful rule to be sort of mindful of. What else do we have? Digits by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot have a 2-to-1 ratio. Let's continue with our 2 example for a second. With a black dot, this would have to be in a 2-to-1 ratio. So I could do 1, as in 1 times 2 is 2. I could also do 4, as in 2 times 2 is 4. So that would be in a 1-to-2 ratio. Now imagine that this black dot in here joining these 2 cells was white. They would have to be now consecutive, not in a 1-to-2 ratio. So I could still do 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, or I could do 2 plus 1 is 3. And had this been a white dot, this would be a totally valid pencil marking. Lastly, we've got the grid is shrouded in fog, and placing the correct digit will clear the surrounding fog. So imagine that this cell was indeed a 2. Eventually, once you actually place this, it will actually reveal all of the immediate fogged cells next to it. And hopefully that will give us a few more clues that would allow us to actually make our way through this puzzle. Well, here is hoping that I'm going to actually be able to do this particular puzzle justice and play it smoothly. Link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Wish me luck. Right. So what I noticed is, if you have a think, so normally I always start with any 3 cells that are joined by black dots because it tells me quite a bit about them. If you think about black dots for a second, they are usually made from the sets 1, 2, 4, and 8, as in 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. The other possible set is a 3, 6. So you can do 3 times 2 is 6, but you can't go in any further than that because 6 times 2 is 12, doesn't fit in a Sudoku grid, and 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, can't have a non-integer number. And then the last set is 5, 7, and 9, and again, none of these can actually go in a black dot. If you try, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, none of these can go in a black dot. Now, as soon as you find 3 cells that are connected, that have to be unique, that are connected by black dots, you know it's not 3, 6, you know it's from 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now, what's interesting in here for me is that because of the German whispers, I know that these 2 cells are the same polarity. They're either both high or they're both low, and this is the other polarity. So if this is high, this is low. If this is low, this is high. Now think about the 1, 2, 4, 8, and how could they both be of the same polarity? The only way that would be possible if this is the 2 and this is a 1, 4. And we can mark these as high and this is low. What else do we know? We've got 1, 2, 3. What has revealed this for us? Which is not very useful. We have no idea what this is. Let's think about this one for a second. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to color this again. Now notice this Renban line is now joined by 2 different polarities. So I don't know if this is high or low again. That's why I keep using purple and orange. Low would be blue. Red would be high. And if I don't know what they are, I tend to use different colors. The most important thing, though, is that this Renban line is now 2 different polarities. So essentially what this is telling me is if this is low, this is high. The only way you're going to be able to do that is if you join them with a 5. And therefore these 2 are 4 6s. Now, if you remember with my example earlier, if that was a 4, these 2 would be 9. 4s and 6s are the most restricted cells on German whispers. If this is a 4, this would be a 9. That's the only digit that's 5 or more away. If that's a 6, that would be a 1. That's the only digit that's 5 or more away. And the same is true, obviously, for this 4, 6. That's 1, 9. And because these are extreme digits, this is either if that's a 1, that would be a 2. If that's a 9, that would be an 8. Making decent progress in here. 1, 4, obviously, I could have placed that earlier. That would have been the 9, because nothing else can actually be next to the 4. And we've got like a bit of a semblance of another German whispers line. I'm just having a think first. Do I know anything else? I suspect I can resolve these. I'll take a look in a moment. What do I know about this cell? So this is, I've got 1, 2, and 4 already placed. 9, 1, let's just do the obvious bits. 6, 4, and 8. 4 bounces back, that's the 1, that's the 4. And we've clearly got a German whispers line in here that I'm going to use in a moment. Let's just fix some colors. And we're off. Right, back in here. So 1, 2, 4 are already placed. So this could be, it's not 6. This is only 3 or 8. If that's an 8, that would be a 4. If that's a 3, that would be a 6. Shame it's not on a German whispers line. Well, it might be. There might be one into the fog that we just can't see. Let's do a bit of coloring again. So these are one color. That's the other color. Interestingly, that's purple. Because if it's 3 as in low, this is 6 as in high. If this is 8 as in high, this is 4 as in low. So if that's orange, that's purple. And now we need to have a think around how do we resolve this German whispers line? What do I know about it? I know 1 and 9 are on here, for example. Very tempted to say it's in the middle. I know the 4 is there, which is not very helpful. Let me have a think then about what this is. This is 2, 3, and 7. That's not the 2. There's a 2 in here. So 1, 2. We don't know. There's a 3, 7. There's another 3, 7. 4, 5. Where does 5 go? This is all a German whispers line. No 5s in here. No 5 in there. In there. That's a 5. That is very helpful because that says this is not 3, 6. Remember, a set of 3 unique cells joined by black dots cannot be from 3 and 6. That's the 8. That's the 4. That's a 2. And we can do a bit of coloring. We now know that purple is low and orange is high, as in red. What tells me now is this has to be the 9. There's a 1 in here with a 3 or 7. Clearly it is not the 7 because this is blue. So not 1. Whoop. This is 1 or 3. This is 2 or 7. And therefore this is the 3. What do I know about this? This is 2, 3. It's not 4. If that's a 2, that would be a 3 because the 1 is not available. If that's a 3, 2 is not available because it's not here. So it's almost like it's ascending. What else do I know? This is 1 or 3, except not grey. What would this be? Not sure I know a lot about these. I know this is at least a 7 because the minimum here is a 2. So this is 7, 8, or 9. But I can actually put a 6 in here. Yeah. Right, shall we think about this Renban then? So this Renban is definitely 1, 2, 3, 4 cells. Again, because of the lines do not branch, they're not going off into the distance, it has to be only these 4 cells. Now, whether this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 Renban or a 2, 3, 4, 5 Renban, notice in both of these scenarios I needed to have a 4 and a 3. Question is, where's the 4 when there's a 4 in the box? It's not this cell, that's a 2, it's not these 2. That's the only one that's the 4. And these are either 1, 3 or 3, 5. And they're not 1, 3 because it breaks this cell. So these are 3 5s. That's a 1. That could be, as a result, anything. So I'm not going to be able to place... That's not the 3 because of the white crop key dots. The 3 would have to be adjacent to the 2 or the 4, both of which are taken. That's the 5. That's the 3. 4 is not available next to the 5. That's a 6. Which unfortunately doesn't move us forward really, but we'll take it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 6, 7, 8, and 9. We will take a look at that after a bit of coloring. From 6, 7, 8, and 9, I don't really want to sort of pencil mark it. Notice that neither the 7 or the 9 can be on a black crop key dot. So we know that this is 6, 8, and we know that this is 3, 4. We now have a 3, 4 pair. These are all highs. There's a 2 up here somewhere. This is, I mean, in fact, I was going to say no, there's a 3 in here. That's 3 is telling us where it is. And that's another low digit. This 6 tells us this is now the 6. This is the 7. I know what these two cells are. This is 1 and 9. I know what these two cells are. This is 2. No, I don't. This is 7 or 8. This is 2, 7 or 8. That's a bit of a shame. If we have a think though, we've got 1, 2, 4. This is a 3 with not 5, so that's the 5. And then the 3 is joined with a 7 or 8. Which one of these is 5 or more away? It's only the 8, and therefore not 8 in here. That's 2, 7 pair. That gives me this 8, which gives me the 6, the 3, the 4, the 3. This is now no longer a 7. This is 8 or 9. That's no longer a 6 either, or an 8. This is a 7, 9 pair. Could still be a 1 in here, putting a 7 there. This could still be either. So these at least are not resolved. Do I know anything else? I mean, the 3 gives me the 1, the 3. Do I know any of these? Maybe. Not really. Need more vertically before I can resolve this. So I guess I'm sort of being pointed towards this Renban line. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits, which is quite helpful because it means there is absolutely a 5 on here. Whether I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, there is always going to be a 5 on this Renban. And then the question that I'm sort of thinking about is, what's going on with the 4s and 6s? The reason I'm thinking that is essentially it could be an extreme. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and no 6s, or it could be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, another extreme and no 4s, as in no low digits. So what you can see is the 4 6s are eliminated from these two cells. From these two cells, there could be a 4 and a 6 in here. Could be. And like this could be a 3. Yeah, so like it's almost the Renban line. You know, the Renban line is almost forced, but not quite. It's kind of the issue here, unless I'm missing something. I can't resolve these. So I'm just thinking, I want to almost like pencil mark a few more things, just to sort of eliminate a few more options on the Renban line. I mean, it'll be like an absolute beauty if I can essentially force one of these two digits off it, because then I have essentially like a run at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. What it does tell me though is that the 5 is in here. No 5s in there as a result. That's a 5. I'll take it. It's not a huge reveal. Which also means there is a 2 and 6 in here because it's not there. These are not 2s or 6s. So there's a 2, 6 with another high digit, which is 7, 8, or 9. No 6s. No 6s. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line. Right. Where can I place it all? The 4 is definitely in here. As is the 5. No 3s. No 3. This is the 3. 1. So that's essentially a 1, 4, 5 pair, except that's not a 4, and that's not a 1, and that's the 2. That's not a 2. 1, 4, 5, 2, 6. I have another high digit. 3 is already placed. The whatever high digit, no, 2, 6. I need 2 high digits. I only can place one of them here. So 6 and one of these, then these two are 2 high digits. I don't know if that even made sense. Essentially, I've got a 2, 6. I've got one high digit and a second one. But if you look elsewhere in the grid, I still need 2 more reds. These are the only places they're left. Because this is not 6 or 8, that is a 7 or 9. Not very useful, but I mean, I'll just pencil mark it anyway. So in here, we need the other 7, 9 and the other 1, 5. But I've already placed the 5. That's 5, 4, 1. I mean, you can't see it behind the red, but that's basically revealed all of that fog. So that was the correct pencil marking. There is in here a 1 with a 7, 9. And then another 7, 9 with a 2, maybe definitely a 6. We're back to these 2 6s again. Yeah, because they're in here, they're in there. And then another high digit, which we don't know what it is. Let's move on. I mean, this black crop kidot, I'm sure, has kind of been there very deliberately. So what is this cell? It can't be a 1 because it would require a 2, which is already placed in the box. It's not 2, 3, 4, or 6. It can only be an 8. With a 4 in here. Does it actually give me anything? What it does tell me is this is another 7, 9. Really didn't think it would be about 7 9s, but essentially this is not a 6. Because the 6 is already pencil marked down here. And that now gives me the question, well, if it's not 6, it's not 8, that's another 7, 9. That's a 7, 9 pair. This is 2, 6, 8, except that's not a 2. 2, 6, 8 tells me that this is now a 9, a 7, another 9, another 7, another 9. This is now another 2, 6, 8, except that's not 8, that's not 6. I don't know anything about the 2s. And these are not 9s. This is a 1, 7 pair, which are also not resolved. Lovely. 8. May as well keep tidying it up. Is that as far as I can take it here? Seems like it. The 4 doesn't bounce back and give me anything. Bit of a shame. So we need another 2, 8 in here with another, well, I say another, with a 7 and a 5. So this is not a 2, 8, not a 5. That's the 7. So I need a 2, 8 and a 5. Don't know where these are. I only know that there is a 5 in there. What is this cell? It's not 8. In fact, it's highly likely there is a 4 in here. Not joined with an 8. That's a 2. That's a 7. That's a 2. The 2, oh yeah, gives me loads, if I can actually pay attention. And therefore I know what this digit is. This is a 9. And this is a 1. This is a 2, 5, 8. We have a 2 already in the box. This is 5 and 8. That's a 2. That's the 8. What do we have in here? 3 and 6, I'm going to say. So as far as it goes, apparently. Well, I guess I probably have enough to actually think about filling these in. Yeah, 2 4s, this 4, that's a 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 8, which I know is in here. And 6. 2, 6, and 8. I'm imagining I can complete this. The 2 is definitely in here. 3, 4. I need a 5, 7. This 7 tells me the order. That's a 7. That's a 5. I know what this is. This is a 1, 9, 1. What else can I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5. Can't place it. 6. I need, well, 7 I can place. 7, 7. That's a 7. Which gives me 6, is it? 6, 3, 6, and 8, 3, and 8, 5, and 9. And if I've not made any mistakes, 5 for the solution to today's puzzle. Lovely puzzle, EFlatMinor. And I'm certainly much happier with the way I've solved this compared to the previous puzzle, but beautiful puzzle. So I think, that break-in, reasonably obvious. I don't know why it took me a while to spot the 9. The 4, 5, 6 was ingenious, and then the forcing the 1, 9 and sort of bouncing back to actually help you sort of figure out what are the different colors. Placement of the 5 to allow you to basically continue with this German Whispers wine and color it. And then the 8, 4, 2 run, the kind of genius of having to figure out that this is a 4 and then resolving the 5 and 6. This was very inspired as well, having to see that this is all low digits with the 5. And then from there on, it was just really Sudoku to basically resolve a lot of the rest. Beautiful puzzle. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back for the next one. Bye for now.